Her name was Carol. She was 78, once a dance teacher in Ohio, but when I met her, she could barely walk without pain. Her legs were shrinking, her back bent low. She told me quietly, "Doctor, I feel like I'm fading." Carol had lost more than strength. She'd lost her connection to life. She stopped going to church, gave up gardening, and barely left her chair. As a physician, I've seen this story too many times, but something in Carol's voice stayed with me. She wasn't giving up. She just needed something. Gentle, simple, and hopeful. That something came from an old man I met in Japan. He was 92, living in a mountain village. He walked tall, carried water from the well, and made tea every morning with his own hands. When I asked him his secret, he smiled and said, "We drink tea to stay alive inside." That line stuck with me. I brought it back to Carol, along with 3 traditional Japanese teas, each one with natural compounds shown to support muscle strength, ease inflammation, and help the body heal during sleep. 3 months later, Carol was walking again. Slowly, yes, but steadily, she returned to her garden. Her eyes were brighter. She looked at me and said, "I feel like I'm coming back." Today, I want to share those same 3 teas with you, not as a cure, but as companions. Simple, natural support on your journey back to strength. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why do we lose muscle so fast as we age? It often starts quietly. You might notice that the stairs feel steeper than before. Getting out of a chair takes more effort. You walk slower, not because you want to, but because your legs feel heavier, more uncertain. And then one day, a fall happens. Or you stop going on your morning walk. Little by little, independence slips away. As a doctor, I've seen this pattern in so many patients, and it's not your fault. It's a process called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle as we age. After the age of 60, the average person loses about 3 to 5% of muscle mass every decade, sometimes faster if they're inactive or not eating well. But here's what's even more important. This loss doesn't just affect strength. It impacts balance, energy, even mood. Weak muscles make walking harder, and that makes people move less, which in turn speeds up the muscle loss. It becomes a vicious cycle. Now compare this to what I saw in Japan. In Okinawa, I met 86-year-old women carrying baskets from their gardens. In Kyoto, I watched elderly men sweep their steps with steady hands. What's different? It's not magic. It's a lifetime of movement, balanced nutrition, and daily rituals that support the body, not fight it. One key difference? In Japan, the culture around aging is active, respectful, and rooted in nature. People don't stop moving after retirement. They squat to cook, sit on the floor, walk daily. Their diets are rich in plant-based foods, fermented ingredients, and warm, healing drinks, like tea. And science now supports what tradition has always known. Certain natural compounds, especially those found in Japanese teas, can help slow muscle loss, reduce inflammation, and support recovery. They're not a replacement for exercise or nutrition, but they amplify the benefits of a healthy routine. So if you've felt your legs weakening, or if you're afraid of falling, I want you to know this isn't just aging. It's biology, and you're not powerless, because just as your muscles fade over time, they can also return, slowly, gently, with the right support. That's why in the next part, we'll take a deeper look at the culture of tea in Japan and how it plays a powerful role in keeping their elders walking strong. The culture of tea and healthy aging in Japan, more than a drink, it's a quiet medicine for the body and spirit. In Japan, tea is not just a beverage. It's a way of life, a ritual, a moment to pause, to breathe, and to care for the body without even realizing it. When I visited Kyoto for the first time, I was struck by how often tea appeared in daily life, not as a luxury, but as a quiet habit. In the early morning, elders sit by the window with a warm cup of green tea. After meals, families share roasted barley tea, and before bed, herbal infusions gently invite rest. It's a rhythm, a daily heartbeat of healing. In Western medicine, we often separate the emotional from the physical, but in Japanese tradition, they are deeply connected. Tea is a bridge between the two. It warms the stomach, calms the mind, and brings people together. In fact, there's a Japanese saying, Ichigo Ichi, one moment, one encounter. Every cup of tea is a chance to be fully present. And in that presence, healing begins. For older adults in Japan, tea plays a special role. Many teas contain natural plant compounds like catechins, theanine, and polyphenols that are now being studied in medical journals for their role in reducing inflammation, boosting immunity, and supporting muscle health. But beyond the science, there's something else at play: consistency. These are not fads. These teas have been used for generations, morning after morning, year after year. It's this quiet repetition that helps the body remember how to heal itself. What makes it even more powerful is that tea drinking in Japan is paired with other healthy habits: walking, stretching, eating seasonally, and maintaining a sense of community. It's part of a lifestyle philosophy called shokuiku, which means food education. It's about listening to what your body truly needs and honoring it with small, natural choices. This is the spirit I hope to bring to you today, not just information, but inspiration. Because while the modern world often looks for big, dramatic solutions, Japan teaches us that the smallest things, a warm cup, a gentle habit, a moment of stillness, can have the biggest impact over time. Matcha, the green energy that rebuilds strong muscles. Steady mind. One quiet cup at a time. In a quiet town just outside of Nara, I met a man named Mr. Tanaka. He was 88 years old, but you wouldn't guess it by the way he moved. Every morning, he swept the front of his house, watered his small vegetable patch, and walked to the corner store for fresh tofu. When I asked him about his health routine, he smiled and held up a small bamboo whisk. Matcha, he said simply, every morning for 60 years. Matcha is more than just green tea. It's the purest, most concentrated form of it. Instead of steeping and removing the leaves, you drink the whole leaf, ground into a fine powder. That means you get up to 10 times more antioxidants and nutrients than regular green tea. For older adults, especially those struggling with fatigue and muscle weakness, matcha can be a quiet powerhouse. Here's why. Matcha contains a compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin, a natural antioxidant that supports muscle regeneration, reduces inflammation, and improves circulation. Studies have found that EGCG may help preserve muscle mass during aging by protecting muscle cells from oxidative damage. But matcha also offers something more subtle: gentle energy. Unlike coffee, which spikes and crashes, matcha's caffeine is balanced by an amino acid called L-theanine, which promotes calm focus, So instead of feeling jittery, you feel alert and steady, like Mr. Tanaka, walking peacefully through his morning. What I love most about matcha is that it's not just a supplement. It's a ritual. The act of preparing it, slowly whisking the green powder in warm water, creates a moment of presence. That moment is medicine in itself. For my patients like Carol, who are trying to regain strength and energy without overwhelming their systems, matcha is often the first tea I recommend. We start with half a teaspoon mixed with warm, not boiling water in the morning. Sometimes we add a splash of almond or oat milk for taste. The key is to make it part of a calm morning routine, paired with light movement, maybe stretching near the window, or taking a few slow breaths before the day begins. Now, a quick note. Matcha is potent. You don't need much. And for those sensitive to caffeine, starting small, 2 to 3 times per week, is perfectly fine. The goal is not stimulation, it's steady support. In Japan, matcha has been used in the Chanoyu tea ceremony for centuries, not just to energize, but to center the spirit. It's a reminder that health is not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual, and deeply personal. So if you feel your strength slipping, or your mornings feel dull and heavy, I invite you to try a cup of matcha, not as a fix, but as a friend. Japanese ginger tea, a warm companion for aching joints. Let warmth return, slowly, gently, from the inside out. Her name was Yoko. She lived in a small fishing village off the coast of Hokkaido. At 84, her hands were marked by decades of work, wrinkles deep, joints swollen. But every morning, she sat on the porch, sipping from a simple clay cup filled with something steaming and golden. Shogayu, she told me, hot ginger water. I've had it since I was a child. Yoko's knees still ached from time to time, especially on rainy days. But unlike many of my patients back home, she didn't rely on pain pills or medicated creams. She relied on warmth, from movement, from food, from the sun when it peeked through the clouds, and from her daily cup of ginger tea. There was something so gentle and intentional about her way of living. She moved slowly but purposefully, always with a kind of grace. Her tea wasn't just medicine, it was memory, comfort, and habit rolled into one. Ginger, or shoga in Japanese, has long been a staple in Japanese kitchens, not just for flavor, but for healing. Science now tells us why. Gingerol, the main active compound in ginger, has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It helps reduce joint pain, improve circulation, and may even protect cartilage over time. For older adults who suffer from stiffness in the knees, hips, or fingers, ginger tea offers something gentle but effective. Not a quick fix, but a steady relief that builds over time. Unlike over-the-counter painkillers, it doesn't numb the body. It works with it. Here's what I recommend to my patients in the US. Start with a thin slice or two of fresh ginger root. Simmer it in water for about 10 minutes until the aroma deepens. Add a touch of raw honey or a squeeze of lemon if desired. Drink it warm, especially in the early morning to loosen stiff joints, or in the evening when the body needs to unwind. Some prefer powdered ginger, which is more convenient, and that's okay too. But fresh ginger tends to offer a fuller range of benefits, and the ritual of slicing and simmering can be healing in itself. What makes ginger tea especially powerful isn't just the ginger, it's how the Japanese use it. It's part of a warming lifestyle. In Japan, elders often wear socks indoors, soak in hot mineral baths, and eat foods prepared with warming ingredients like miso, daikon, and root vegetables. They understand something that modern medicine sometimes forgets. Cold tightens and closes the body. Warmth opens it. One of my patients, Mr. Harris, 76, told me he hadn't gone a full week without knee pain in over a decade. He'd tried injections, braces, and even considered surgery, but we started with something small. Ginger tea in the evenings, a short 10-minute walk after dinner, and a warm compress on his knees before bed. 6 weeks later, he sat in my office with a soft smile and said, "It's not perfect, but I can sleep through the night again. And I'm not afraid of the stairs anymore." That's what this is about. Not perfection, but peace. Not eliminating pain completely, but learning to live in a body that feels more open, more supported. If you're someone who wakes up stiff, or if walking feels harder when the weather turns cold, Japanese ginger tea might become a simple, healing ritual in your day. It's a way to tell your body, "I'm still here. I still care for you." Mugicha, the sleep tea that rebuilds you at night while you sleep. Your body heals. Let this tea help. For years, one of the most common complaints I've heard from older patients is, "Doctor, I can't sleep." And yet, sleep is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. Especially as we age, deep sleep is when the body repairs itself. Muscles rebuild, inflammation settles, hormones balance. Without restful sleep, the body can't fully recover, no matter how healthy your diet or how often you move. That's where mugicha comes in. Mugicha, or roasted barley tea, is a beloved drink in Japan, especially during the warmer months, but many elders drink it year-round. What makes it special isn't just its nutty, comforting flavor. It's what it doesn't have. No caffeine, no stimulants, and no sugar. It calms the system rather than activating it. One evening in Osaka, I visited the home of a retired teacher named Mrs. Fujimoto. She was 90 years old, still living independently. As the sun set, she invited me to sit with her on the tatami mat. "Every night," she said, pouring the tea into a small cup, "this helps me sleep like a child." And she was right. Barley contains tryptophan, a natural precursor to serotonin and melatonin, the chemicals that regulate mood and sleep. Mugicha also supports gentle digestion and helps reduce nighttime bloating or discomfort that can disturb rest. It has mild anti-inflammatory properties as well, which benefit joints and muscles during the overnight repair process. Some new studies even suggest that barley-based drinks may help reduce cortisol levels, the body's stress hormone, especially when consumed in a calm setting before bed. It's not just about what you drink, but how you drink it. Slowly, without noise, without distractions. That's what helps the body remember how to relax. For my patients in the US, I often recommend mugicha as a bedtime ritual. Brewed from roasted barley grains, it can be served warm or cool. In the evening, I suggest a warm cup, sipped slowly away from screens, with dimmed lights and quiet surroundings. These small cues tell the nervous system it's time to rest. One woman told me she prepares her mugicha while listening to soft instrumental music. Then she turns off her bright lights, lights a small candle, and sits in silence with her tea for 10 minutes. "It's become my favorite part of the day," she said. "It feels like a warm hand on my shoulder telling me to let go." And here's something beautiful about Japanese tradition. Sleep is not seen as wasted time, but as sacred time. There's a cultural respect for rest, stillness, and balance. Many older Japanese practice light stretching or breathing exercises before bed, followed by mugisha. It becomes a peaceful transition, not just getting ready to sleep, but preparing to heal. One of my American patients, Deborah, age 70, had tried everything from over-the-counter pills to meditation apps. Nothing worked consistently. We introduced mugisha along with a simple evening routine. A few weeks later, she said, "For the first time in years, I wake up and don't feel like I've been fighting in my sleep." Mugisha may not knock you out like a pill, but it doesn't need to. It coaxes your body into a natural rhythm, quiet, warm, safe. It's a drink that says, "You've done enough for today, now let your body take over." So if you've struggled with waking up tired or feeling unrested even after sleep, consider making mugisha part of your nighttime routine. 1 cup, 1 quiet moment, 1 step closer to real rest. How to combine these 3 T's for a stronger, more energized, you create a rhythm of care, 1 cup at a time. Now that we've explored each of these healing teas, matcha for energy and focus, ginger for warmth and mobility, and mugisha for rest and recovery, you might be wondering, how do I begin? Do I drink all of them every day? Will this really make a difference? Here's the good news. It doesn't have to be complicated. What matters most is not drinking the perfect amount, but creating a small, sustainable rhythm that your body can depend on. A rhythm that gently supports you where you need it most. Whether that's in the morning when you feel tired, in the afternoon when your knees ache, or in the evening when you long for deeper sleep. Here's a gentle weekly pattern I recommend for many of my older patients. Morning energy, matcha, 3 to 4 times per week. Use matcha as your morning support. It helps wake up the muscles, stimulate circulation, and bring focus without the crash that coffee often causes. I suggest starting your week with matcha on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Mix half a teaspoon into warm, not boiling water, whisk gently, and drink slowly. You can add a splash of oat milk or almond milk if you like. Let it be part of a peaceful morning moment, perhaps while reading or sitting by the window. Midday warmth, ginger tea, daily or 4 to 6 times per week. If your joints feel stiff or your body tends to get cold easily, ginger tea is your midday companion. You can enjoy it after breakfast or lunch when digestion slows and the body needs warmth. Boil fresh ginger slices for 10 minutes, strain, and add a little honey or lemon if desired. Some of my patients prepare a larger pot in the morning and sip it throughout the day. It's especially helpful in colder months or for those with arthritis. Evening calm, mugisha, every night. Mugisha is the tea I recommend the most consistently because sleep is where healing truly happens. Brew roasted barley tea, loose grains or tea bags, in the evening and drink it warm about 30,000 to 60 minutes before bed. It's naturally caffeine-free, gentle on the stomach, and supports the body's overnight recovery process. The act of drinking something warm in a quiet room without television or phone becomes a signal to your nervous system that rest is safe and welcome. Helpful tips as you begin. Start slowly. You don't need all 3 teas every day. Begin with one that feels easiest. Listen to your body. Some people are sensitive to caffeine, even in matcha, so try it in small amounts first. Make it enjoyable. Use a favorite cup. Sit in your favorite spot. Let the ritual bring comfort. Choose quality. Look for organic, unsweetened teas. Asian grocery stores, health markets, and online shops all carry good options. Talk to your doctor if you're on medication. especially blood thinners or sleep aids. Over time, these teas will feel less like a prescription and more like a quiet companion in your day. They become small acts of love toward your body. And those small acts, repeated over weeks and months, are what rebuilds strength from the inside out. It's never too late to come back to yourself. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for watching, but for caring about your body, your well-being, your future. That care, that curiosity, that gentle courage is the beginning of healing. I know what it feels like to lose strength, to wake up and wonder where your energy went, to walk slower, to fear falling, to feel like the body you once knew is slipping away. But I also know this: healing is never out of reach. Not when you begin with small steps. Not when you choose patience over pressure. Not when you believe that your body at any age still remembers how to rebuild. The 3 T's we've explored today are not magic, but they are powerful in their own way. They are reminders that food can be medicine, that ritual can be healing, that every warm cup is a chance to come back to yourself, stronger, steadier, more whole. I've seen it in my patients. I've seen it in the elders of Japan. And I believe it can happen for you too. So as you end this video, I invite you to choose one small habit. Maybe it's 1 cup of ginger tea tonight. Maybe it's switching your morning coffee for matcha. Maybe it's just breathing deeply before bed. Whatever it is, let it be a beginning. You are not too old, you are not too late, and you are not alone. Thank you for being here. If this video has spoken to you, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. And please subscribe. More gentle guidance is on the way.